Use the power of discovering new habits to create success in all areas of life. Body, fitness and nutrition, being, spirituality, passion and purpose, balance, marriage, kids and relationships, business, marketing, sales, leadership and systems. Transform your life by learning how habits work. And now your host, husband, father, entrepreneur, trainer, coach, and warrior, Jesse Mule.
Welcome back to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast. I am your host, Jesse Mule, and today we're going to be talking about the habit of hard work. How many times in your life have you heard this term, hard work? See, I can remember all the way back to junior high and even high school having summer jobs. And the summer jobs I often had consisted of concrete work, landscaping, pretty much anything that required manual labor, from, shoveling all day to hauling planks, hauling boards, hauling blocks, even at times hauling roofing. But whatever it was, I can remember doing many of these jobs for 10 to 12 hours every single day in the summer, Monday through Friday. And this to me was the definition of hard work. And I carried hard work around like a badge of honor. Many times guys that I would work with, some were young, some were old, would challenge me to how much I could pick up, whether it was roofing, whether it was blocks, whether it was wheelbarrows, or whether it was just picking something up off the ground. But I would always make sure that I would work the hardest. I would always make sure that I could carry more than anyone else. It didn't matter what people carried, what people picked up. I was going to make sure that I lifted something heavier and I carried it further. And this was something that I valued more than anything, that I could outwork anybody. I would work my ass off, and then for this 10 to 12 hours, and then oftentimes I would go to the gym and do another workout. But these were some of the hardest working days of my life. On top of it, like, this was 4 to 5 days a week. I would go to work 10 to 12 hours. I would go to the gym for at least 1 to 2 hours. And these days still stick in my head today. This is what real work looked like. And oftentimes the reason why I did this was just to be able to get ready for the upcoming football season. But it also taught me something very important. It taught me this work ethic. It did teach me about hard work, but it also taught me that I did not want to do any of these physical jobs for the rest of my life. Now, although it was fun and it taught me many lessons, I had zero interest in doing this the rest of my life, which is the reason why I decided to get into personal training. I decided to own my own gyms. I decided to own my own business. I decided that I was not going to do this type of physical labor my entire life. And the reason why I'm talking about this is some things have came up this week inside of conversations with several of my coaching clients where one of their greatest values was hard work. And one of the things that I began to feel was this, tension inside of me. I began to be like, man, why do we value hard work so much? Why do we actually use this as one of our main values in life? And so I decided to look up some definitions of hard work. See, one of the first definitions I pulled up was a great deal of effort, a great deal of endurance. And if you think about this, it means that we're putting a lot of effort into whatever we're doing. It takes hard work to be successful in business. This was one of the things that I kept seeing over and over, about entrepreneurs and just how hard work related to that. And I do believe that. But there were so many other things. It meant laboring and putting out all this effort into completing tasks. Maybe some examples they gave was a hardworking person is someone who works 12 hours a day. And I even began to look up synonyms: knee-deep, swamped, active, bustling, busy, diligent, employed, engaged, laborious, occupied, tied up, absorbed, concentrating, focused, immersed, intent, preoccupied. And so I started to really think about, well, what is hard work? Hard work seems like a lot of effort. Hard work seems like a lot of wasted energy and effort. And so we often have carried this around like a badge of honor. I carried this around like a badge of honor for so many years, and it got me to where I am. It was something I was proud of, and I could literally say, yes, like I'm a hard worker. I've worked hard, but today I'm really questioning if hard work is really the answer. Is working 12 hours a day a definition of success, a definition of hard work, or is it a definition of something else? Is it just what we've been taught to think? You know, we hear terms like getting shit done, just work harder, I'm a hard worker. We hear all these things. But on the other side of that, I hear a lot of wasted time, wasted energy, wasted effort. And if I had to do anything over again, I would have learned some different ways to work, especially early on in my career as starting out as an entrepreneur and business owner. But I want to paint a couple scenarios out for you because I think they're really important, and I think they actually clearly paint out more of a definition of hard work. Now, imagine you had someone that maybe was close to you, and they had fell in the mud, possibly even quicksand. And imagine you see this happen. You're not too far from them. And during this thing, you kind of watch them slowly begin to sink to their waist, up to their chest, and then starts to get to their shoulders. And so you decide you're going to save them. You're going to do whatever it takes to save them. And so you spend all of your hard work, all of your effort, all of your energy immediately trying to pull them out. Now, what ends up happening is about 4 or 5 hours goes by from you doing this, and you realize that this friend or this person actually wants to stay stuck exactly where they're at. They never wanted your help. They never asked for your help or your effort. And instead of asking them for help, or if they wanted to be pulled out, you just decided to put your head down and work hard to help them. Now, I could have even saved them at this place, but they still didn't agree to this. They still didn't ask to be saved, and I didn't ask them or take the time to step back and actually ask them. But think about this. How many times in your life have you wasted this same effort for hard work to help someone, to save someone, to often think in your own business that you're actually saving someone or saving this person by working hard and putting a lot of effort out? I can think of so many times in my business that I worked hard to save employees that had no business of even wanting to be there. They didn't want anything to do with being saved, and yet I was pissed off when they left. Like, man, look what everything that I did for you, but yet they never asked me for any of it. You see, hard work in business and in life often looks like we don't ask. We just do shit. We just do stuff, and we put a lot of effort into it. And I believe in the beginning, we have to do this because we don't know any different. No one's teaching you, hey man, like you got to work this way. Yes, we're going to work hard, but we're going to focus and work hard on this specific thing. And yet we're walking around trying to save clients, trying to save customers, trying to save employees, trying to save money, trying to do all these things. Yet we never actually slow down. And there's a lot of wasted effort that goes into this. And so we end up getting caught up in this cycle of, hey, I'm just working hard. I'm working 10 to 12 hours a day. But I want to paint to you another scenario. Imagine you have this same friend or this same person, and they fall into the mud or quicksand, and they begin to sink. They begin to sink to their waist, their chest, and then all of a sudden their shoulders. Now, instead of reacting, instead of just doing hard work, instead of putting all this energy and effort into it, I realize that I may be wasting a lot of effort, because if I don't make a plan for them to get out, they may never get out. And I may have just wasted a bunch of my time. So instead of jumping in right away to save them, instead of putting all my energy and effort into it, I decide to take the next 5 to 10 minutes to come up with a plan to actually get them out. And on top of it, before I even start with the plan, I ask them a simple question. Hey, do you actually want help getting out? And they would answer back, yeah, actually I do. And so as they agree, I put this plan together and I slowly discuss this with them. Once we're clear and on the same page, it takes us about 20 minutes for them to get out. There's very little wasted effort. There's actually a concentrated, focused amount of effort. There's very little wasted time and energy. But I get them out. And this becomes the definition of actually smart work. Hard work, you see, took me 5 hours. And yeah, I can sit there and beat on my chest. It took me 5 hours and I still didn't get the job done because I forgot to ask what the person actually wanted. Smart work took 20 minutes of total time, and I got the person out, and they're actually excited about getting out. So I conserved my effort, I conserved my energy, and I still have so much more left for me. Well, in real life, this is what hard work often looks like. We work hard all day. We come home and we have no effort or no energy left for our wife, our kids, and maybe it's the other way around. You're a stay-at-home mom, and you're putting so much effort and energy into hard work with your kids, trying to do everything, put it on your back, that you have nothing left for your husband. You see, hard work may get the job done, but what is the cost of that? What is the cost of your hard work? Oftentimes, there's nothing left for anyone else on either side. Smart work is very calculated. It's coming up with a very specific plan and a very specific amount of effort. And as I've gotten older, I've realized a few things. Many of my beliefs and many of my values I've held on to, I've had to challenge these. You see, what if I could get 5 times more done in less time without having to work harder, but simply focus on working smarter? Maybe learning how to delegate. Maybe learning how to put people in a position to succeed. Maybe even asking people, hey, do you even want help? But think about this. Where in your life do you need to stop working harder and wasting all this effort? Maybe it's in your fitness routine. See, I know lots of people spending 2 to 3 hours in the gym every single day, and they're actually getting less results than if they just spent 45 to 60 minutes in the gym. So there's a lot of wasted effort in them beating on their chest saying, man, I spent all this time in the gym. Maybe it's in your relationship. You're making everything harder than it needs to be. Maybe you're not getting clear on what it is that you want. Maybe you're just focused on what you don't want. And in the process of that, we're making things harder than they have to be. Maybe it's in your business. You're putting everything on your back, carrying it like it's a badge of honor, not delegating what needs to be done, not maximizing the amount of time and effort you put into that business and getting the most bang for your buck. You see, I believe there comes a time in business where you have to get away from hard work and start getting into smart work and really looking at a lot of the things that we're doing and start changing them up. Because if we don't pay attention, we could be like that scenario number one where we're sitting there trying to pull people out of quicksand or the mud, and yet at the same time, they're actually pulling us back in, and we don't even know it because we're not communicating. So resilience is what you do to survive through that hard work. But after a while, we develop this work ethic. But once you've developed this work ethic of hard work, it's time to start maximizing every single thing you do. I can think back to when I was in high school, how long I would work out and how hard I would work out. And oftentimes now I get the same thing done, if not more, in 45 minutes. I can think about, every single day working on myself instead of, trying to do these things that are 4 or 5 hours once a week. But this is why I'm so passionate about hacking these habits, because we hang on to things from our childhood. We grow up with these values of hard work, but we never stop and actually question them. Hey, is this actually working in my life or is it not working? And I want to invite you today to just simply ask yourself, is the hard work you're doing working or not working? And is there a different way that you can begin to work smarter, not harder, and get more done and spend less time working? And maybe that time you could spend with your kids, your spouse, or just with yourself. Think about this. So I appreciate you guys being on here. If you are looking to connect further with a group of like-minded people, join myself and so many others in the Habit-Based Lifestyle Secrets group on Facebook, where I will be dropping daily habits to help you live to your full potential. You want to be one of our next case studies and begin living this habit-based lifestyle. Maybe you have questions, comments, requests. Maybe you have a review. Leave me a review. I would love to hear that. If you leave me one, message me back, and I'll make sure to get you a free gift. Feel free to reach out to me, Jesse at habitbasedlifestyle.com. Until next episode, have a great day.